Good morning and welcome to Winnipeg. Now this cup, I don't have to turn it and adjust it. It says Winnipeg everywhere. Anyway, about, I'm guessing 5 minutes ago, my smart device here goes ding. And I think, okay, I've got a comment. Or somebody's trying to notify me about something. So I checked to see what it is. And it was one of you viewers. And so I'm reading it, and it really put a smile on my face. And I can't remember now exactly word for word, so I'll probably get it a little bit wrong. But he says, getting a bike is better than having a horse, because if you fall off your horse, no, what is it? Wait, I'll get it right yet. If you fall off your bike, it doesn't get up and run away. Thank you. You made my day. We'll be talking about bikes later, but not today maybe. I think what we should be talking about today is trying to get these railings and what have you and ladders on. We already put one ladder on camera. I'm going to do the other ones much the same way. There is one longer one that has to take a bit of a jog. Maybe I'll do that one on camera. But the other ones that I just said, I'm going to be sticking them on using the flat clear here, which I'm almost out of. You know, I don't know what's happening. Is somebody drinking this stuff or something? Because I don't remember using that much of it, and there's just a little bit in the bottom there. Anyway, yeah, let's continue on. Maybe what I'll do is I'll push stop here and stick some ladders down. I'm going to leave this piece here, until the last, because it's the most likely part that I'm going to break off. I'm going to have the most trouble with it. I'm thinking I'm probably going to have to rig up a jig to hold it in place so that the angles are going to be right as the glue dries. Anyway, let's just sort of move on here. Our sunrise this morning, it was it was better than yesterday. It was brighter anyway, let's put it that way. Yeah. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock already. I've been up for a long time. I don't know why I didn't get here to the table and get started. People are going to think that I just don't want to do this build, but I do. My goal is to really finish it. And I'm still thinking about the Yamato. I haven't given up on that. After all, we got our Yamato table in the back room, so maybe we'll be able to make use of it. Or maybe not. Just, take it as it comes, I guess. Anyway, let's get at this here and get some ladders stuck on, and I guess the next time I see you, maybe this thing will be on the rotator and you'll be seeing it going around. I don't know. On the other hand, maybe not. Oh my goodness. Should I reshoot this? Okay, when I was looking at the manual here, and I was going to get my B21, which I have done here, I'm noticing that there's a porthole or a hatch right there. And I'm thinking, well, how am I going to lay the ladder over that hatch? And then when I went to position it here, I can see that it's not supposed to go over the hatch. It's supposed to go from the one walkway to the other. Now, I'm having a little bit of a problem here because the camera's running, but that's okay. I'm noticing that I'm going to have to straighten that one of these. I want to pick this up in such a way that I don't pick it up with the metal touching the paint. Come on. Okay, here we go. So I think what I'm going to do is, before we try to glue this on, I'm going to try and straighten that one little stringer on your left hand side. You can see when it comes up, it's sort of bent there. I guess I must have Well, maybe I could just do it like this very carefully here. Just give it a little straighten. There. Yeah, I got it. Don't know if you can see that because it's pretty small. Okay, I should really be putting on the macro lens, shouldn't I? I'll put the macro lens on so you can see what's going on here. Okay, not only do I have the macro lens on, I've got my CA thin ready to go here. Now let's go slow and methodically. There we go, sort of. I'm looking straight down on it, so I'm just trying to get it centered here. Oh, I didn't notice it slipped off the platform. Okay, you know what? That's just about dead on. Maybe 1/2 millimeter at the top to the left towards you. It's sticking to this. Maybe I should be using something different. Maybe I should come at it from this end like this. It's kind of falling down there. All right, let's try this again. Maybe if I just watch the bottom. I was watching the top before. I should watch the bottom. Okay, now, if I can hold it with my thumb. Sorry about my getting in your field of view here and blocking your light maybe. Now I gotta get that top just to the right a little bit. There. No, just a tiny bit to the left. There. Okay, that is perfect. It's probably within 1/4 millimeter or better. Okay, now we're just going to take a little bit of CA thin here. Now please do not stick to the ladder. Oh, if we can just hook it in here and pull it over. Actually, this worked pretty good. It should actually be going up just a tiny bit. Although, you know, maybe we'll just leave well enough alone here. And there, I'm pretty sure that once that cures, I can always reinforce it later if I think I need to. You can see it way better than me. You're sick of hearing me say that, I'm sure. Okay, I've got one of Gabe's swabs here with a little bit of curing agent on it. I'm just going to come up from the bottom. Just touch it. And let me move you up here. Do the same here. Just enough to set it off. That was probably too much. Okay, well, let's move on. Now, I was talking earlier about a ladder that has to go on that takes a bit of a jog. Well, this is it. It actually goes right up against this mast. And you can see where it jogs up to go to something. Well, the something that it goes to is this right here. Now, this is supposed to fit in here like so. And the ladder would go up through that access hole, you might call it. If I turn it like this, you can see it. So this actually has to go on now. All right, let's reposition everything here and see what we can do. Okay, I was sort of in the process here of trying to reposition everything. I was going to have the mast perpendicular, and then I thought, would it be possible to have the mast at an angle so that this could almost be dropped into place, and it would basically stay there all by itself and just rely on the stickiness of the glue. Yeah, no, of course it won't at this angle, but if I tilt it back at about maybe roughly 45 degrees, be a lot of trial and error stuff going on. It might be a case if I could just sort of set this in place like this, and it'll stay there. I'm going to give that a try. Okay, I'm probably going to be getting my fingers in your way here, but I'm going to try not to. Okay, that's the idea. Now, if it'll stay there when it's dry, will it stay there when it's wet? Maybe when it's wet it'll get kind of greasy and have a tendency to want to just easily go one way or the other. Or on the other hand, maybe it'll help it stay there. Maybe if I could just come in with a couple of supports from both sides so that I don't need to worry about it. And or would it work better? I was going to say maybe if I was to file out that little groove just a little bit more, but it's actually kind of sticking in there pretty good right now. Yeah, I'm going to give it a try. Maybe I'll just put a little bit of Tamiya thick right there, just a little bit. That'll give me a few seconds to actually work with. I think the thin might set up on me just a little bit too fast. Okay, we'll move in a bit and see what we can do here. Okay, here we go. Now remember, this is the one that drips all over the place. And got to get this just right here. Just right. I have to sort of hold it with both hands. Now I'm not looking in the monitor. Now, is that going to stay there or is it going to slowly slump? Let me check here. Okay, I know you can't see the angle at all. It looks very, very close to being pretty much right on. It maybe should be twisting a little bit more to the right. You know what? I'm in too close. This is a case of where more is less. I'm going to back out a little bit. Okay, I sort of have this uncontrollable itch that I want to sort of poke at it and sort of twist it over just a little bit so that this one goes down and this one comes up. I'm looking straight on and it does appear to be horizontal, but I'm just not 100% sure about the angle of rotation. Okay, that looks better to me. I'm looking straight on it the way I'm pointing right now. And like I say, the horizontal is good. Yeah, I think after it dries, I can maybe reinforce it just a little bit. At least now we can get our ladder in place. Okay, quite a bit of time has passed here. I'm guessing a couple hours maybe. And now obviously we don't need this much of a bend in it. There is folding lines there, but I don't want to be bending it, too much back and forth, because it will eventually break. Oh. Whoops. Perhaps I should use a different pair of tweezers here. And if I scratch it, I'll just have to repaint. Something just a little bit more, you might say, delicate. Now, this ladder, where it goes up through the access hatch, or whatever you want to call it, it probably should be leaning against, in other words, it shouldn't be leaning back, because you'd be climbing up the ladder and you wouldn't want to have to swing yourself around. Oh, now, why did I go and do that? Okay, let's just use some. Let's see, maybe we're going to come in like this, trying to get it flatter. I'm going to put the macro lens on so that you can see better, and then we'll put a little bit of clear coat on there, flat clear. Use that once again as adhesive. I think it'll be a lot better than CA. I think that'll be good enough, in other words. Okay, now let's try and knock it off. It might be too far out from the mast to make contact here. It could be once it dries, it's going to. I'm hoping that there's going to be little threads of. Maybe right here it might be able to get it to adhere right here. What if I got them on the end of my brush? Looks like a fluffy or something. Okay, now I'm wondering if maybe up in the. I can just try it here. No, I don't think this is gonna. I don't think this is gonna run from the ladder back to the post. I think it's going to dry out, and it won't really hurt anything, but just try and build it up right here. Okay, now for up at the top here, I think maybe I'll use just a little tiny bit of CA thin. We'll reposition when we do that. How about right here? Can I get it to build up? I know it looks like there's a lot there, and there is actually. There is a lot there, but when this shrink wraps, it's amazing. I would say that at least 95% of the liquid is gone, and at least very little residue is glue, but enough for something like this. Okay, here is what I was talking about earlier. you can see that the ladder is coming up and touching at the back of the platform instead of at the front, and so I'd like to be able to get it to stay down like that. Okay, I'm going to take and put a little bit of CA thin and just try and touch it in there and hope it wicks its way into the right place. Okay, now if I take my brush and push it into the right place and hold it for a few seconds, oh, you know what I did? I broke the ladder loose down at the bottom. Okay, but it's not serious. I just shoved it back. All right, maybe if I was to take my my rubber hose here and blow moist air through. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm going to have to reattach the bottom here now. But now the top let go, didn't it? Okay, the next, you know what, maybe I'm just not going to worry about it. I'm just not going to worry about it. The next ladder we put on is the 22B. And it goes from that platform that we just glued on, that we were having a problem with getting the ladder in place, but, you know, it doesn't look that bad, actually. And then it goes up to this piece right here. And I think what I'm going to try to do is straighten that one rail. You can sort of see it there. It's just a little bent on the top. I'm just going to sort of do that off camera, maybe. Okay, here's what's happened. I was pulling up on the top rail to straighten it out, and I more or less got it. And I was using this brush here, actually. But what's happened now is that the whole thing has come loose. You can see it there. It's probably only about 20% adhered to the platform on the bottom. So I'm going to have to re-glue that, because so that means I'm probably going to have to touch it up with the 77 as well, because I'm going to be making a bit of a mess there. Lots of fun in this hobby, lots of fun. And it is fun, you know, it's fun. It's not like you have to have this done. It's not like it was, you know, a commissioned job by a professional. Yeah, speaking of professionals, how many of you saw Nigel's finished, I think it's a Sky Crane, that helicopter? I forget the exact name for it, but boy did he do a nice job. He had his reveal yesterday. I was watching it. Yeah, okay, let's see if I can't get this. I'm going to have to maybe hold it down. Yeah, I'll rig up sort of a holder downer here. Okay, very gently here now. This is the Instick here. I'm going to put on just a little tiny bit. Okay. Well, for once I really did only put on just a little tiny bit. All right, let's see what we got. Yeah. Okay, now the moisture caused it to oxidize or something there. So I'm just touching it up with the 77 again. probably have to do the outside as well. Just get rid of that powdery look. I'm not seeing anything now. Okay, we'll let that dry, and then we'll see if we can slip that little piece over the mast. Okay, now I do not want to be lifting on the rail. I want to see if I can pry this loose from underneath. I'll turn it like this. Whoops. Get it off of there. That double-sided tape is so sticky. Now, okay, check the camera here. You can see I've got this sort of a flange thing going on. You know, if I could take one of Gabe's swabs and use it as a mandrel and go up through the hole, and then just very, very gently with a sanding stick just try and get that, because that just somehow just doesn't look right. Okay, I pulled the end off of the swab, and alright, now I don't want to accidentally be touching the rail. How is this going to work? What I need is a jeweler's lathe. Yeah. I'll think of something. Okay, now if I hold it directly over top that point of rotation there, in other words, that green thing, this is the plan. You know, that CA is so hard. It is so hard. I'm going to end up trying not to catch the rail. That's why I'm going at the angle I'm going. Now there is another thought I'd had. If I had a very, very tiny nut and bolt, I could run the bolt right through it and then tighten it up from the other side with the nut, and then I'd put a little bit more force on it. I could almost put it in the electric drill and sort of drag it as it turned. I could drag the sanding stick along the edge, you know, sort of turn it down like a lathe sort of thing. You know what? It could be that nobody's going to see this anyway. They're not going to notice that flange isn't supposed to be there, and it's probably made out of the fact that I used a whole bunch of CA glue and then the curing agent diluted it and it ran down, and yeah. Okay, let's just stick it on the mast and make the best of it. Okay, now I know I did try this once before and it did fit, but that was before I was messing around with my paintbrush just now. Ooh, careful. There it goes. Okay. How's that? Is it down as far? Yeah, I think it's down where it's supposed to go there. Now, let me tip it back and look in the monitor. Well, that didn't work. Okay, I got some debris or something on here, don't I? Okay, no, I think what I'm going to do is just take some extra thin quick setting and just put it right there. And I think I pretty much got it straight. It looks straight to me. Maybe it could go down just a little bit here. Well, I can straighten it up afterwards. Now, where's my quick setting? All right. We don't need very much. Whoops, I didn't want any there. All right, let's just leave that now. Looks pretty good. I don't think it matters which way this goes, you know, rotation wise. I suppose maybe what I should try to do is have it so that it's kind of symmetrical there. That's you can't see straight down on it, but okay. That's okay. Just nothing serious dropped on the floor. Okay, yeah. Now I can see where I'm going to have to go around with the 77 on the paintbrush, and for instance, even on the end of right here, it looks like bare plastic for some reason, and touch things up. But we made a little bit of progress today. Nothing earth-shaking, but it's forward. We're going forward. Yeah, I'd hope to have all the ladders on. But, well, we've only got that 22B. That's the last ladder. And we should be able to stick that on in the next episode. So, thanks for watching, everybody. All being well, we will see you tomorrow.